Welcome back to Stack Your Points. This week it is a shortened show. No, we're not going to say shortened show, but it is just Lonnie and myself this week. Lonnie from the Call Me Lonnie YouTube channel. How are you today, sir?
I'm doing good. I'm starting to feel, well, I definitely feel much better. I got my voice back. I'm not coughing every 3 words. Still coughing just a little bit, but I'm better. Like I am a functioning member of society again. I am officially sub saying below $1,000 on my most recent sub before I hit it. I am in the final stretch already. That's what
Very
I was trying
nice.
to say. Um, what else? In my time of being ill and being stuck at home and being quarantined from the rest of my family, I also decided to just walk through the garage and find like all this crap that's just sitting in there. So I've been selling off a bunch of stuff on eBay recently as well. It's been doing very well. People just want random old stuff from people. So I'm at least made it a productive illness. So I'm good. I'm good.
Very good. I'm glad to hear you're feeling better. Good things all around there. And eBay can always be like another form of revenue for folks. It's interesting to see how that plays out. We are running a bit shorthanded this week. Life is lifing for a couple of our co-hosts, but Lonnie and I are gonna take it away. And we've got your questions, we've got some topics, so it'll be a good time. As always, we like to start with our questions. Our first
Oh,
question,
before we get to that,
yeah,
I'm doing a Q&A. I like never do Q&As. I have a
yeah,
Google
this is true.
form and it will be members only Q&A and it will be released on this channel. So for all members on this channel, and I'll also release it on my personal channel as well. But I need questions to answer. So if you want to participate, you would like to hear, as long as it's not too personal. I'm not going to give you my personal address. I'm not going to give you my mother's maiden name or my high school mascot. As long as you keep it on topic, there's a good chance I will address and answer it. We will put a link in the description or in a comment if you want to participate. And yeah, thank you for all the members that help support our channel. And so I'm really excited to see what type of questions y'all ask me. If y'all can throw me for a wrench around your travel or your credit cards, or if you just want advice or an opinion on something, let's figure it out. And I'm happy to help. But it's my first time. I've never done a Q&A before. So let's do this.
It'll be exciting, and our members throw Lonnie those questions, and he, as he said, it's going to be both on his channel and here. You can do the double dip, or just throw him a question in the form, and you'll see it either way. So that is, check us out, stackyourpoints.com, or just join the membership on our channel if you'd like. We have various tiers. We will talk about that at the end, but very exciting stuff for Lonnie there, and we'll be doing more members only stuff soon as well. There we go. So we'll jump into our first question. It comes from a friend of the show and I want to say Diamond member. So there we go. Members don't get preference in the questions asked, but it just so happens that our first question comes from a Diamond member. Double Animal Fries says, is there such a thing as too many banks getting into the lounge game? What if Citi, Wells Fargo, US Bank, Bank of America, whoever created their own lounge network? Is more better for optionality and incentivizing higher quality? Or is there a tipping point where too many players will negatively affect the overall experience? So, Lonnie, is there such thing as too many bank lounges?
So this is going to be a slightly loaded answer because I have to play both sides of the field on this one. There's a strong yes, and there's also a strong no. The strong no is, are there too many banks getting in there? The answer is no. We need more lounges to an extent. And now, do we need 12 lounges in a regional airport? Probably not. But could we use more lounges in Chicago O'Hare? Absolutely. Could we use more lounges in LAX? Absolutely. Could we use more lounges in San Francisco, SFO? Absolutely. And so it's okay that more banks want to get into these particular lounges because it's going to solve one of two things. First off, we all complain about, especially if you go to an Amex lounge, overcrowding. I hear the same thing about Capital One lounges. I don't have a Capital One card, but I know everyone also complains like, hey, these lounges are overcrowded. Capital One just changed up their lounge access because of overcrowding. It's now even more pay to play than it was before when you already bought your ticket to play the first time, i.e., your first card, that is. And so by having more lounges creates that competition, but it also spreads out that thins out the herd, if you will, a little bit, where you don't have to necessarily worry about overcrowding, but then it creates competition across lounges for your business. What's the entry fee to get in these lounges? These bank lounges, you got to have their card. And
Yep.
so this will actually help not just thin out the herd, but also be more help direct people in how they want to build their strategies, creating loyalists overall. Double mentioned Citi, Wells Fargo, US Bank, Bank of America, all in this one question. Is anyone ever going to get all of those cards that have the lounge access, not the $0 annual fee once they don't do nothing for you in that regard, but the one they pay the annual fee for it? No, they're not. They're probably going to find one that works best for them and they're going to lean into it heavily. So, too many banks? No, I actually think that's a good thing that more of them want to get into it the same way that airlines do. Now, I love United clubs. I love Polaris clubs. They're never overcrowded. So please don't go sitting in first class, taking up my lounges, eating my soft butter chocolate chip cookies or whatnot. Like they are at a perfect level of I can always get in. It's never too overcrowded. The next option is the banks. For those that don't have status or those that are not buying business or first class, which let's just be real, a lot of us aren't doing it, including myself, unless it's a work trip and work paid for it, then yeah, I would definitely buy first class. But for my personal trips, my free economy plus seat, and if I get upgraded, was good enough for me. That's what I'm trying to say there. Now, the flip side of that coin, is there a such thing as too many banks getting into it? Yes. And the reason why is what's the point of all these banks getting into it if no one can actually, they don't build enough lounges for us to actually get into in the first place? I've mentioned this before. When it comes to card lounges, I have my CSR, I have my Amex Platinum. I've been in my Amex Platinum lounges more as a bank card lounge more than anyone out of the two. I've never stepped foot in the Sapphire Lounge. They're
Mhm.
not in any places that I travel. They're not in any places that I go. So I'm paying for it and I don't even get to go to it because I'm not flying through any of those airports that have it. It will be great if some of the major airports or some of the main airports that I traveled through had a Sapphire Lounge. I would love to see one at SFO or LAX or Chicago O'Hare, ORD, or MCO. And not that I go to Orlando that often, but I do go to Orlando probably like once a year for some reason. There's a million conferences there. It will help. It will make me feel better. So there is a yes and a no to it. Yes, if you're going to get in it, be serious about it. Make a network of them. Don't open up 3 lounges and be like, lounge access. I don't want to
We're
hear that
here.
on YouTube when you only got 3 lounges.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, on the no side, yeah, it's great to, like I say, thin out the herd. Give more people access to these lounges because the more people that have these cards that have access to them, they're going to start going to these lounges, once again, overcrowding. So if you're one of these banks and you only have 3 lounges and a million people have your card, don't sit here complaining like, man, there's so many people in this lounge, Amex. You're handing them out like candy on Halloween. But there's only one house on the block, is what I'm saying. Everybody's going there because that's their only option. Because, like I said, you're not buying first class. You're sitting in the back of the bus with the rest of the other 90% of the plane, but you can still get in the lounge and you're paying for it. In this case, Amex is $700, about to be even more than that. Yeah, you're going to go use it, which is why they're always overcrowded. You need to have enough that the supply and demand need to kind of balance out. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I don't disagree at all. I am going to say I don't think that there's such thing as too many banks jumping into the lounge game yet. We
Yeah.
know that I'm sorry, we know that Citi has a trademark out for Strata Lounge. So Strata Lounge is potentially going to be a thing for them. Now, I think they're going to be starting off the way that most of these things start. You're going to see like a Strata Lounge at Citi Field in New York City. You're going to see Strata Lounges popping up at arenas first, just to kind of like test and demo the lounge and market test it that way. Chase does the same sort of thing at the Olympics. They have lounges for the US Open. They have lounges, I think, in a couple of other ballparks. I think Chase Field in Phoenix has one. American Express, they have lounges inside of, I want to say they have one at MetLife. I know they definitely have one at UBS Arena in New York. They have lounges inside and outside of the airports, and that was like they're building their concept for
Mhm.
putting in the lounge in the airport. So City is going to eventually be joining the airport fray. Now, if City is smart, they will not just do one lounge at a time. They will have 4 or 5 lounges in very particular airports to kind of kickstart the network. Now, if I was doing this at City, not to say that I'm smarter than everybody or anything like that, the 5 airports I would start with, if I'm City and I'm doing this secretly, I'm doing it at Terminal 8 at JFK, probably Terminal 1 at JFK as well. Those are going to be the One World terminals because Qatar announced that they're going to be moving to Terminal 1 in 2027, 2028, and they're putting in a business lounge at the new Terminal 1, which JFK is still a madhouse in the construction. I had to go down there twice this weekend. It's just insane still. T6 can't open up soon enough. City should also open one in Denver. City should open one at ORD. If City is the first bank to get to ORD, that would be insane. But stranger things have happened. Like they landed the plane with American Airlines, getting a big American Airlines hub at ORD with your bank lounge that you can get into with the Strata Elite would be, I don't know, smart business and the sort of thing that I would be complimenting City on because everybody thinks I'm a He-Man City hater. I'm not.
ORD definitely needs more. That's
Yes.
one. I understand. It is the headquarters of United. I am the United guy. I get it. But the fact that, yo, if there's too many people to your liking in that United club, just take a walk for 3 or 4 minutes and go to the next one. That one, go to the one by your gate. There's another one.
Yeah.
And not to cut you off, but that's kind of what I would like to see, especially from all these banks getting into the game. So Miami Airport. I don't know if you've ever been there yourself, Matt, or anyone listening has ever been there, but Miami Airport, even though it's an old airport, is actually quintessentially great for lounges. And the reason why I say that is because there is a Amex Centurion lounge there. I fly United. There's a United Club there. They have plenty of priority pass lounges there, like Turkish. And they also have plenty of, in my case, that reflect me because Star Alliance Gold status, Star Alliance Gold lounges there as well. And some of them overlap. Once again, Turkish is a Star Alliance lounge and a priority pass lounge. The point that I'm making is you've heard me say this is nothing new. If I'm in Terminal 3 and the lounge is in Terminal 1, I'm not going. I
Right.
am not making that walk. Even if it's just me by myself with my carry on, I don't want to walk that far. And I love walking. I just don't want to do it. Now, throw my toddler and my wife in the mix. Oh, we're definitely not walking. So the fact of having this optionality is what I'm getting to. Going back to supply and demand is, oh, Amex Lounge is in D, but my gate is over here in B. F that. There's 2 other lounges that I can just go to that are closer in B. Maybe it's a card lounge if it's not Alliance or Priority Pass. That's what I'm saying. So that's what
Yep.
I'm like, this would actually be a good thing, but they have to build them. They have to build enough of them. There's
Yes.
quantity. Yes, there's quality, but let's stay on the topic here. We need the quantity first.
I do think that if you're one of the major banks in the lounge game, so Amex, Chase, Capital One, I'm going to go speak to those 3 right now. If you're at JFK, you should have a lounge per terminal at JFK.
Yeah.
If you are at SFO, you should have a lounge per terminal at SFO. If
Yeah.
you're at DFW, you should have a lounge per terminal at DFW. DFW is another of those like launching airports that I think that City needs to be at when they get their lounge game in play.
And that's
Um,
one of the things that I've always not understood about Amex. They'll happily build one lounge in one airport, where some of the larger ones, like at LAX,
yep.
you easily could fit two or three of those Amex lounges in there, where they are not close to one another whatsoever. It's like you're flying to what country, what continent, on what airline. Like it's very separated there. And
Yeah.
of course, LAX is horrible, so definitely don't take a walk in there. Out of LAX as fast as possible.
Well, also you've got like the domestic terminals, you've got the terminals where you're doing the domestic flights, you got the terminals where you're doing your more international flights,
Yep,
but
yep.
Amex in particular, like if they're like look at Delta, their partner, right? Every single terminal that Delta operates in at Hartsfield Jackson has a Sky Club. At least one, probably two at every single terminal. And then they've got the Delta One clubs that they're building there. JFK has at least two or three Sky Clubs.
Yep. That's how
LaGuardia has a Sky Club.
Lufthansa does that in Europe, where it's we have our Senator Lounge, which is just like the regular lounge. And there's, like you say, in Atlanta Airport, there's like the big Amex Centurion Lounge. Lufthansa also has, especially at Frankfurt, the first class lounge. You basically got to leave the airport to get over there. I'm sorry. I know I'm going to be a hypocrite. That one's worth the walk. That one is worth the walk.
Next time I'm flying Lufthansa on the A350-1000 Allegris, yes, I will probably find out, and I'm flying out of Frankfurt. Yes, I will do that.
On my hypocrisy, I will walk to that one.
That is fair. I'm sure there are other airlines as well. If you were doing the Al Safwa Lounge at Dubai, you would make a point to go to that Al Safwa. So if Citi or Wells or US Bank or Bank of America, if they're jumping into the lounge game, like you can't start small. So that's one thing. You gotta do your business. You should not be partnering with an entity that, yes, partner with an entity that does lounges, but own your lounge space as well. The big thing with City that like Lonnie and I have harped on, they don't own their lounges. Everything is run through the club. If anything
Chase,
happens
not
to
City.
Priority Pass, yeah, at Chase. If anything happens to Priority Pass and the Collinson Group, for whatever reason, if Chase doesn't have first right of refusal to buy out the Collinson Group, I don't know what they're doing in terms of their business
Mm-hmm.
practices. It's bad if they don't have first right of refusal to buy it if something happens. Now, is this to say that anything is going to happen with the Collinson Group? No, they're an insurance company. Most insurance companies don't fail. The last time major insurance companies were failing, it was 2008. And most of those insurance companies now are in better footing. But going back to City, Wells, etc., City's going to be jumping into the game. City has to jump into the game with a network attached. Wells Fargo, my like little side project bank, if they're going to jump into the lounge game, I don't know what their plans are going forward. If they're going to jump into the lounge game, they have to do it big as well. One of these companies has to do something so off the wall in terms of lounges that
Mm-hmm.
it strikes some sort of fear into American Express and Chase. I'm not going to include Capital One here just because Capital One's got their lounge, is building their lounge network, but I don't know how much of a priority their lounge network is to them. Chase, it's becoming more and more of a priority. American Express, it's always been a priority since they launched it. And they've got the partnerships with Escape, they've got the partnerships with Lufthansa, they've got the partnerships with Priority Pass. So Amex takes it serious. Amex, you
Yeah.
can always get into some sort of lounge. Chase is working on trying to get, you can always get into some sort of lounge, but there's caveats.
Caveats.
Caveats, yeah.
There's an asterisk. No, don't get on our accents. We're from two different parts of the country.
Very true.
Capillaries or capillaries? Which one is it?
I always say capillaries, but who needs the blood transfers? Anyway, we like to tangent it. So, City, Wells, whoever, like if you're going to introduce lounges at JFK, JFK has what, six, seven terminals before when all of this is said and done, be in all six terminals. Like be in Terminal 1. The current Terminal 1, I think, is going to get rebranded to Terminal 2. I'm not 100% sure. There is no Terminal 3. Then Terminal 4 is the Delta International Terminal. That's where most of the lounges are. Terminal 5 and 6 are connected airside. Terminal 7 is a jungle, and then Terminal 8 is like the only one that's modern. Put a terminal in all, put in a lounge in all of them.
What I would also, while we're on the topic of banks,
Yeah.
I would like to see banks started literally like hoarding on top of each other, literally stacking their lounges on top of each other. And what I mean by that is I am not a big go to the stadium sports person. I've done it a
Hmm.
couple of times. You just mentioned a bunch of them. That's why I'm going here with this particular metaphor. But I can't tell you how many times I've been at a concert or at a game of some kind, and it's I need to go to the bathroom, and I see the women's restroom. Now I'm not getting into sexism and anything, but I see the women's restroom, and there's a huge line outside the door. Men's restroom is like a revolving door. We're just getting in, doing our business, and getting out, like no wait
Hmm.
whatsoever. And I always think of that moment when I'm somewhere and like I'm approaching the Amex Centuria Lounge, and I see a wait list. I see people like most of them have like stairs that go up, sort of. At least the ones I normally go to have stairs that go up to the lounge, that is. And it's like a line. I've never seen a line at a United Club. I would like to see Chase or one of these other banks just, yo, we're moving in next door. Amex, we're moving in next door. And so when everyone with their platinum card, and I can't be mad because I'm holding one, sees the line and they're standing there, I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna go to this one right here. I'm gonna go to
Yep.
this one across the hall and just be like, I'm not waiting. Period. Sorry for you guys. Like you have like an hour and a half connection. You got 90-minute connection. And you spent 89 minutes waiting in line. So no, thank you. I'm just gonna go over here. I would like to see that. I would like to see them literally start jumping on top of each other. Now, airlines can't necessarily do this because they're usually separated by terminals.
Hmm.
But in smaller airports, in which I'm not going to call them regional, still big airports, just not regional, if you will, they actually do that where you can be in one section, like DFW. DFW is great because it's one long strip there where the Delta, the American, the Uniteds, they're all with, you can see them from standing outside of their doors, what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's the aesthetic that I'm going to. Is, yeah, let's skip that one. You know what? I got the CSR and the Platinum. Let's just go to the Chase Lounge. But I can't do that because Chase isn't anywhere I want to go to. Well,
Yeah.
any airport that I fly to.
Yeah. So they got to start working on that. I know that there are select terminals where you have all three in relatively close proximity. JFK Terminal 4, the Etihad Lounge that Chase has a partnership with, and Chase is the only reason it's been reopened, is right across from the Centurion Lounge, but it's smaller than the Centurion Lounge. So like it still has a line. Whereas the Centurion Lounge, like people are able to cycle in and out a little bit better. It's not great, but it's like a little bit better.
I can't even
LaGuardia
remember
doesn't
the
have
last
a
time I
lounge.
went to JFK. I'm trying to think. It's been a very long time since I've been through LGA or JFK.
You're not missing. LGA has been completely redesigned. LGA is completely modern now, so that's cool. But yeah, JFK is a bit of a mess. But yeah, it would increase competition. It would get people to evaluate the cards a little bit differently. It would be nice to get some extra players into the game. You know, if any of these banks was going to do it competently, Bank of America silently would because Bank of America knows what they're doing day in and day out. Whereas, I don't know, US Bank doesn't know what they're doing every 6 months and they set themselves on fire. But I do think City and Wells are probably the next two to come into the lounge network. And competition, theoretically, in a world where basic macroeconomics work, not saying this is the world where basic macroeconomics work anymore, but in a world where basic macroeconomics work, increased competition would create more ability for folks to enjoy a lounge because intrinsically the Centurion Lounge would get fewer people because people are annoyed at the Centurion Lounge, and suddenly the Wells Fargo Lounge is the place to go because it's popping off in the same terminal right across the way. That is the way it should be in a world where basic macroeconomic principles still work. I do not know that this is that world, but that is the way it would be if things worked properly. So I don't think there's a tipping point right now. Too many players negatively affecting overall lounge experience. How many airlines have lounges? All the airlines have lounges. All the airlines are basically banks. They've got lounges. The banks should have more lounges. It's just a question of how much are they willing to pay rent? How much are they willing to get in there? How much are they willing to do the thing? American Express, very willing to do the thing. Chase thinks they're willing to do the thing, but like they keep giving themselves like outs just in case they don't want to do the thing. Like they don't own their property. They partner with other folks to get into that property. City is going to have to own the property. Capital One owns their space. Like they are the leasee. So if you're going to go in, if you're going to go in big on the big airports, and it wouldn't hurt to diversify a little bit. Like a bank lounge in Pittsburgh wouldn't be the worst thing. A bank lounge at Burbank wouldn't be the worst thing. A bank lounge at what's a relatively busy airport that could use a bank lounge besides SFO and LAX, also on the West Coast? Portland,
Long Beach.
Long Beach.
Portland, definitely. Portland needs
Yeah.
some love and some new carpet. Portland needs that.
City whose name was determined by a literal coin flip. Yeah, the two business magnets, one was from Boston, Massachusetts, one was from Portland, Maine, and like they were trying to determine the name of Portland. They literally did a coin flip. So there you go, Oregonians. Oregonians know this one. But yeah, I don't think it would be a bad thing. Like tipping point, I don't think there's a tipping point for too many players. Get more banks opening more lounges. More lounges would be good for us, the consumers, until it's not. But I'd rather have more options than fewer.
Yep.
Thanks, Double. Let's move over to our next question. It comes from Skatesa, who asks, in light of the new rumored Marriott business cards, are there any current personal cards that you don't have that you would get if they instead were a business card? Alternatively, are there any business cards that need a personal version? So, Lonnie's got a big old head shake.
Nope. And this is not a direction towards the question. It's just the answer. Are there any personal cards that I want to get that I can't? And so I get a business card? Absolutely not. There aren't any out there. I got everything I want at the moment. I think I actually have more than what I need. I'm not ashamed to say it. Unfortunately, for how I use my cards, if I start cutting cards out, I'm cutting out $0 annual fee cards. What's the point of that? Just let them die. So I'm just there. And then for the second half, are there any business cards that need a personal version? Not a single one that I can think of that already doesn't really have a personal version, like the Chase Inc. Premier one. Maybe it's the only one I can think of, but technically you can do that with two personal Chase cards, one of them being a $0 annual fee. So unfortunately, my answer to both sides of the question is no.
No, that's fair. The two cards on the personal side that I would love to see business versions of, don't know that I would go out of my way to apply for these cards, but I would love to have the option for them as business cards. One is the Aeroplan card from Chase. That is a very sneaky good card, especially when you do a transfer bonus, get a transfer bonus to Aeroplan through Chase, and you can pay yourself back on travel. If that had the pay yourself back on travel at the 1.625% and had travel as like an earning category, that would be really nice as a business card. Now, how feasible is that? I don't know. You just asked what I would love to see as a business card. There you go. The other one would be the Hilton Aspire. I would love to see what a premium Hilton business card looks like. I'm talking like that 550, 650. What would Hilton and American Express combine to make for a business traveler at that high end? Because they seem to be sketching out like a Marriott brilliant business card. What does a Hilton answer to that? In the same portfolio of cards, but what does a Hilton answer to that look like? Because it would come with diamond. It doesn't need the Knights because you got diamond. So what else would Amex and Hilton do on a business card? That is like really interesting to me. Would they make that card, if they make the annual fee high enough, would they make that card just 34x with the diamond and everything else on paying cash at Hilton, and then make it just a 7x catch-all? Would they do that? what would their Hilton credits look like? What would it be with like resorts credits versus regular credits at Hilton? Those are the things that would get my gears spinning on a business card. Are there any business cards that need a personal version? Lonnie mentioned the Ink Premier. I don't want to pay $195 for a flat 2 times earning ultimate reward card that I could pool my points with. But I'm not saying it's outside of the realm of possibility that I wouldn't pay $195 for a flat 2 times earning ultimate reward point earning card on the personal side. I just want 2x. I think we're going to see a freedom refresh, and hopefully the unlimited just becomes 2x flat, and then like maybe it gets another category. But yeah, there really aren't that many other business cards that need a personal version that I can come up with. The JetBlue Business Group A boarding is on the JetBlue Premier card, but don't get the JetBlue Premier card. Never get the JetBlue Premier card. The only other thing might
I feel like
be,
you feel some sort of way about that one, Matt.
no, of course not. No, I haven't been harping about that card now for 7 months since it came out. No, they had time and they wasted it. It was just pathetic. You know what the other thing would be?
What's that?
A higher end American Airlines business card. Because right now they just have that one at 99.
You know what? That's a good answer. But because it's American Airlines, I didn't even see it.
Like you've got,
I'm biased.
it's not even a bias thing. Like
No, I'm saying
United,
I'm biased.
okay,
Me personally.
but like you've got the Delta Reserve Business, you've got the United Club business card. That went up to
Uh-huh.
695 and it was annoying, but like you still had that card. There
And
is no answer to that.
now it's flat. So it's the same, it's basically the same card, both sides, personal and
Yeah,
business. Same price, same basically same price, same everything.
yeah. So I'd be interested to see what the Advantage Business Executive World Elite, or sorry, World Legend Mastercard would look like. Let me see what that card looks like. Oh yeah, are there other? I can't think of any other business cards that need a personal version offhand. Like the Wyndham Business Earner is fine, but the Wyndham Earner Plus card is close enough. Like you just bump gas up to 8x with that card to make those cards the same. There's nothing else that really comes to mind. Interesting, but a Amex, if you're watching us, and I know you watch Credit Card YouTube, please check out our podcast if you're watching us. Give us a Hilton Aspire business card. I'd sign up for it.
I got my personal right now. I'm good.
That's fair. That's fair. So thanks, Skates. We'll move over to our next question. Comes from M2K, who asks, "What's your favorite Amex Platinum credit?" And I can be real quick on this one. I don't hold the Amex Platinum card. I don't have a favorite credit. I just love that they keep offering me the Business Platinum for 250,000 points every single week, and I ain't got the spend for it. So, Lonnie, you hold the Amex Platinum.
I
What
do.
is your favorite credit?
I am a current holder of the MX Platinum. You got to say current.
Hmm?
FHR, FHR, and the airline credit right out the gate. Those are my by far my two favorite. I know they're the bigger two, probably in the top three, depending on any card holder you ask that knows that they got them. One, airline credit, because instantly on January 1st, so I can put $200 in my United Travel Bank. Crap, I said that out loud. Crap. Anyway, you heard it here first, folks. Or Matt edited it out. Who cares? Anyway, the reason why is because it's just super easy to use. And by doing it that way, so for y'all that don't know, when you actually buy United Travel Bank, it expires after 5 years. So it's not a credit that comes directly from United, which expires after 12 years, or something like the IHG Premier card, which is every 6 months, that $25 goes away. When you actually just go to United and buy the travel bank, when in this case, this is how you have to do it, it doesn't expire for 5 years. So you can just, even if you don't fly United often, but you have a platinum card, you can just stack that up over the years and have literally it's $1,000 e-gift card, basically. Boom. So super easy to use. It's super easy to hold on to. It's super easy to get that value out of, and you're not rushed to use it. So that's easy. The other one, the FHR, also super easy to use. Now, full preface, we're gonna get real personal here. I'm bougie. I didn't know if y'all knew that. I don't know if I've ever said I like to be on the high floor. I want a suite with a room with a room in it. That's me. FHR helps me get that. And of course, you can stack a FHR benefits with your hotel status and loyalty benefits, and also potentially even a third type of benefit that we can get into later. And I'm actually going to write a video about after I'm finished writing the one that I'm doing right now. Anyway, so dum dum, more to come later to be continued. But the point of all that is that a lot one, FHR ain't cheap. And I'm not saying it because like I'm bougie, oh, I can afford FHR. No. I'm saying it as for the type of room that I want, there's two ways to get it. Buy it and hope I get upgraded to it. And FHR gives me is way closer to buying it or giving me 1-2 step head start against everyone else checking in that day that I'll easily or more easily get upgraded to it. And that's what I really like. So all of my FHR experiences have been literally 9.8s out of 10. Like straight this do not pass go, do not collect $200, go straight to Illinois Avenue. Like straight up. They just go just perfect, not perfect, but they're great experiences. They treat you well when you check in. They know that you booked with FHR. They know you're an Amex card holder. Like now, stack your gold, your diamond, your platinum, whatever status that you have on top of that just enhances it even more, which makes me even want it even more. Now, the last point that I'm going to make and why I like my FHR credit is if you really do the math sometimes and you can time it out right, yo, get one of those 20%, 30%, 40% off deals in FHR. You're now getting this room for the cost of this room out the gate. And you can use your points, you can use your cash, you can use whatever you want. If you still got your credit, you can actually split it. So I have used my credit before and said I'm booking with all points minus $200 in cash. Like just take off the points that will equal $200 in cash, what 20,000 points, whatever. The $200 credit comes off, the points cover the rest. Bob's your uncle, room is booked. It's so easy to use, but like I said, there's so many different ways and that you can get even additional value if you know how to play the game, if you have some patience, or if you plan ahead that you can get out of it. So it's one of the hard things that I'm battling right now in this CSR platinum war that's currently about to officially take off is if I had to lose one, which one would I lose? Either way, I'm going to lose something that I find incredibly valuable between those two cards. And that's why I said in previous videos, like the option might not be CSR or Amex. It could be both, but it also could be neither.
I have a feeling now, maybe I'll post this as was Matt right. I have a feeling you're probably going to come down for at least the next 2 years, probably holding it both.
Would it give you at least through 2026? And I'm being
Okay.
completely honest. So where my mind is at right now, because first my CSR, my annual fee doesn't roll over until January.
Yep.
So once I get started October 26th, I basically got the rest of Q4, the rest of the year to figure it out. Then it's going to hit. Now I've already done the math on will I still be able to continue value? And I'm not talking about like effective annual fee. Oh, I'm going to get $10 off Apple TV. No, I'm talking about points boost. The way that I use the card today, if things were to change, will I still get that value out of this card later? Yes. Points boost is 100% going to take care of itself. It's already started taking care of itself for me. I still get my $300 travel credit. What other things? So now, like, I'll get $10 off Peloton, which was normally just on the purchases, not on the monthly subscription. So that's actually an enhancement that I have to pay for every single month anyway. So that's automatically coming out of my pocket. That's instant value, if you will. Not
Right.
effective annual fee. It's something I'm paying for right now, not getting $10. Starting on the 26th, I will start getting $10. That type of thing. There's plenty more. We don't need to get into check off every single box in this conversation. But the thing is, I'll probably either way keep my CSR through 2026 just to make sure did I lose anything or what did I gain anything? How do I feel about it? Do I like that the annual fee went up? No. But I already got mine from its $550 annual fee for so long
Yeah.
that it's about time I start paying that extra value. Like it's my turn to start paying up. Like I'm part of the problem, not part of the solution, if you will. Amex rolls over in April. So I'm going to go through April before whatever new annual fee hits anyway. And so if I'm already at April, we'll see. Like it's either I got to cut it off in April. And if I don't cut it off in April, then I'll give it the rest of 2026. So you're absolutely right. There's a good chance I could go 2 years with both, but I guarantee I'm probably going to give 2026 the real test of which one in their new version, that is, really fits within whatever lifestyle I'm trying to live.
No, that's certainly fair. And that would be more than enough time to really play with it because you can't make that decision based on a quarter alone with the CSR.
Oh, yeah. I'd go, no pun intended, I'd pull my hair out trying to get all that value I can extract out of a card 90 days.
Yeah.
Most of us can't even get through a sub in 90 days, meaning like without pulling our hair out. Not that you don't have the spin requirement, but you know what I mean?
Yep.
And so with two brand new cards, and I'm going to call them brand new. CSR is brand new for sure. We don't know what Amex is going to be, but with two new versions of cards, yeah, I need more time than just a couple of months.
No, that makes 100% sense. Like I'm not jumping. I don't hold the platinum. I'm going to be interested in what the platinum refresh looks like because like I've mapped out for myself the credits and everything that will be beneficial to me with the CSR. But 995, let's say it's 995 for the MX Platinum, but they're giving you $3,700 of value. Like it's worth looking at that just to see how useful that will be. And if we're talking like a potential $600 FHR credit or like a $400 flight credit broken up semi-annually because that is the way American Express operates. If they're doing more is more, like it may be worth looking into how I can make that work for me. But do I want to be a JetBlue flight, make JetBlue my preferred airline with the MX Platinum? Probably not.
Nope.
But my JetBlue strategy, once we learn more about Blue Sky, I'll have a better idea of what my JetBlue strategy is going to be going forward.
And guess what my preferred airline is with American Express Platinum?
Bet you it's not American Airlines at very least. Does it start with a U and end with a D and have a CEO that's probably scared of you?
If you know what my airline is or think, put it in the comments down below. See if you're right.
It's the easiest open book question in the world. All right. So MTK, thanks for that. I know we can expand on this question, come back to this question when RJ and Craig are able to join us. I'm sure they will have thoughts as well. So thanks for that. We're going to jump to our next question. It comes from also channel member and longtime friend of the pod, Keith, who asks, when deciding on a catch-all card, do benefits and protections become part of your decision? And he adds some further context. I like using my Venture X card as a catch-all because it's a Visa Infinite with all of the Infinite's benefits, but I'm considering switching over to the Double Cash with Citi recently adding American Airlines as a transfer partner. So I'll jump off on this one. When deciding on my catch-all, do benefits and protections become part of my decision? The only benefit and protection I worry about is my fraud protection. After that, I don't really think about it with the Wells Fargo Active Cash. With the Chase Freedom Unlimited, I also don't think about it because my first thought when deciding on which catch-all I'm using is what points do I want more? Do I want more Wells Fargo points? Do I want more Chase points? That is the first and only question that comes to mind. Things like extra benefits, extra protections, things of that nature. If we're talking about my Apple products, I'm paying for Apple Care when I buy the product, when I buy it. Like that is my insurance policy for those products. Other products that I use on a day-to-day basis, like most of them don't really have extra insurances, protections, or anything like that. And if they did, I probably would have bought them at the time of purchase. Amazon will give you extra protections on electronics and stuff like that you buy through Amazon. Or let's say you buy a mini fridge through Amazon. They'll give you that option for $40 extra, and that lasts for 3 years. So that's where I will add in those benefits and protections. Like I'll pay a little bit more if it's worth it to pay a little bit more. Otherwise, I don't really worry about it, but the Double Cash does have some good extended warranty protections. If you want to switch over to making AA points your point transfer of choice through to thank you points, feel free, man. Venture X is still going to be there. And if you don't want the Venture X after a while, or you're not getting benefit out of the Venture X, you can always knock it down to a Venture because the Venture and the Venture X are the same card. One just has lounge access and a $300 coupon. But Lonnie, when you're deciding on your catch-all, do benefits or protections become any part of the decision, any part of the equation there?
Yeah, very similar to you. So I'm going to actually start with another point that you made. My catch-all consistently changes for a variety of reasons. Once again, I got 10 plus 15 something cards at the moment. Excuse me. And so for me, my catch-all is usually driven by, first off, what points do I need? So it could be my Chase Freedom Unlimited card one day. It could be my United card another day. Like right now, it's my United Quest card because I have a sub that I'm almost completed with. I'm like, I just want to finish it. So I'm putting everything on it, even though I can get more points somewhere else. But there's a purpose because I know I'm about to get the welcome bonus. So technically, I am getting the most points or miles in this case. So it's really based off of that. A lot of times, like if it's not like a transferable points card, like my Freedom Unlimited, it'll be one of my hotel cards, which could be my Hilton, which is 3x everything at minimum. It could be my IHG, which is 3x minimum on everything as well of a catch-all. Marriott Bonvoy Brilliant is 2x everything at minimum type of scenario. But also at the same time, I want to make sure I get to the 60K on my Hilton card before the end of the year. And once I get that 60K, chances are that card's going to not be a catch-all anymore. I'm going to switch it to something else type of scenario. Now, that's how I personally deem it. So I say all that because I don't have just one catch-all card. Like this is my catch-all card every single day. No, Tuesday and Wednesday could be completely two different catch-all cards is what I'm saying. Yep. But the other aspect of it is price protection. That is my big deciding factor on which card is going to be my catch-all. One, because not purchase protection, and there's a difference. Purchase protection is I bought something and within like the first 120 days, like it got lost, stolen, damaged, something of that nature. Usually it's just damage. Some Amex cards do theft. But price protection, when it comes to price protection, like I said, you can buy, especially I like to buy a lot of electronics. Those things fluctuate in price on a daily basis. Best Buy, Amazon, Apple, Target, they can all have 4 different prices on the exact same day. Now, if it's about points, that's one thing. Like, yeah, I'm going to do whatever point stacking option, you know, what shopping portal or whatever, MPX maybe, MPX plus shopping portal plus Rakuten. I go that deep sometimes. Yep. It all works. But I could buy it and get $50 off at Target. Man, I'd rather just save the $50. And then if I bought it there, or let's say I bought it on Amazon and then it's $50 off at Target tomorrow, I know the price protection will help me get that be better at me getting that $50 back. And so that's my main deciding factor between the two is I want to look at the price protection, but it's always going to lean into what points do I need the most? And that's not just for the catch-all card. Like I said, when it comes to a stacking option, like a shopping portal, do I want to use Honey? Do I want to use Rakuten? Do I want to use United Mileage Plus shopping portal? Do I want to go through Chase's shopping portal? All of that takes effect because even in there, it comes down to the points. They're all different. Rakuten's actually popping off right now. They are really doing well.
Yeah, I usually go with Top Cashback or also use Rove from time to time. Rove is a little bit sticky, but is what it is. I've noticed that whatever I did to my browsers in terms of like uBlock Origin or uBlock Origin Lite, whatever pop-up thing I set up, going through Rakuten, going through whatever portal on my desktop has not been giving me enough points. If I go through my phone, I'm good. So I gotta keep that in mind. Which would be nice if we had another card with mobile wallet category, but alas, we do not. So yeah, Catchall, what points am I getting? And then is price protection a thing for Lonnie? Definitely makes a lot of sense. So thanks, Keith. We'll move over to Kirby for our last question. Kirby has a follow-up question from Diamond Rice. Kirby asks, do you invest in nice luggage or other travel supplements, or do you not find any of that stuff worth it? And Diamond Rice follows up with, what is your favorite luggage? Hard shell versus soft shell, carry on only person, etc. So, Lonnie, how do you go about with your luggage? Because you're the one between us who invests in your luggage and invests in your travel day. I am
Mhm.
Mr. Joe Schlub.
Yes, I do. I do invest in nice luggage. Now, it's not nice and luxury are two separate things.
Mm.
So I'm not saying that you got to go get a Louis Vuitton. I'm not saying that you got to go get a Remova or anything like that. It would be nice. I would like one. I don't own one. Don't even own a Toomey suitcase. Own a Toomey backpack though. Let me get to that. It's good to invest in them. And
Mhm.
there is a quality over time factor in which you need to consider. The first thing is quality, and quality is not necessarily how it's made, but how it works for you. Where some decent luggage brands, level 8, I like them. I liked them so much, I reached out to them and they're like, hey, do you want a suitcase? And I said, thanks. So if you find something you like, try reaching out and give compliments to like their customer service. You never know what you're going to get. Anyway, real story there. And actually, it's funny that from Kirby G, because I had posted that I'm trying to sell a level 8 suitcase, and guess who just bought it? Anyway, not trying to put his business out there, but thanks, Kirby. You helped me clear out my garage a little bit. But so I use two brands of luggage. One is level 8, and the other one is Ridge, the wallet company that now makes the polycarbonate suitcase. Level 8 has some of the best, smoothest wheels I have ever pushed through in the airport by far. They are durable. They take a good beating. And so like when it comes to level 8, we have their trunks. So if you ever want to go to their website, they have trunks are like a new thing now. Not necessarily new, but they're more common. I have a family of 3 and my toddler doesn't need his own suitcase. So we get trunks so that we, as long as the 3 of us can get everything in 2 big suitcases that we check in, we're good. And so both of our trunks are both level 8 for that reason. Now, when it comes to the quality and how they're built, the polycarbonate shell, the hard shells, the wheels, the handles, their customer service, the warranties, like all that stuff takes a factor in what I end up picking. Level 8's really great across all of that. This is not sponsored whatsoever. They don't pay me a cent, by the way. The reason why I say that is because there's also like Monos and Away and what are some of the other mid-brand luggage that's are out there right now. Those are like the ones I
Tuesdays, Samsonite.
yeah, Base, BEIS. That's another currently good one. These are all really good, real quality. I've had my level 8 trunks for years. Never had an issue with them. Never had a loose anything, never had a wheel fall off, never had a crack in the luggage, never had a zipper break, nothing. And so that's an investment. Is it a stiff investment? Not really. I don't know how much money every single person has in their bank account, so I can't say what's expensive, but $250 is worth it. I'm not saying it's expensive. I'm not going to say it's cheap. I'm going to say it's worth it. And for $250, I know it's going to last me for a very long time. So whenever this thing, the wheels fall off, pardon the pun, knock on wood, that doesn't happen. I'm probably just going to replace it and buy another one. Like I'm not looking for anything else.
Yeah.
Now, does that mean you can't go get a Toomey or Remova or whatever Carl Friedrich? If that's in float your boat, if that checks those quality and time scenarios, then sure. Do you, boo? Do you? Like, I'm not going to stop you. Do you? I'm sure they're great. I haven't used them, but I'm sure they're great. And I know they also have good customer service. I know a lot of people that have the aluminum or aluminium, depending on where you're from,
Hanse.
like Remova, like carry-ons and suitcases and whatnot. And they were like, oh, I got this broke or something happened. And they just go to the store. And if they can't fix it, you walk out with a new suitcase that day. They're just like, here, take it because we can't fix it. That's great customer service. And that's like lifetime customer service at the same time. So, yes, I do find that stuff worth it. And the best way that I can put it is a lot of people always talk about jeans, literal, like denim jeans. Like, would you pay $200 for a pair of jeans? And a lot of people say, I've dealt with this question because I actually have a jean collection. It's the next largest collection Third largest
after.
collection after my shoes, my t-shirts, boom, and then my jeans, which is why you got to stay the same shape so you don't have to keep replacing them. But neither here nor there. You don't have to buy new ones. But the point is, I remember people would ask me, like, why would you buy not necessarily a luxury pair of jeans, but why would you buy a pair of jeans that costs over $100 or a pair of jeans that costs $200? And I'm like, because they're going to last me for, I've had jeans for over a decade
Yep.
where, yeah, I could go buy a pair for 20 bucks, 40 bucks, 60 bucks, and I have to replace them twice a year. So which one, who actually came out ahead? The person that bought 200 once or the person that bought six pairs of $60 jeans? See what I'm saying? And that's how I look at my luggage. So yes, I travel a lot. So I need something that's going to be durable. I need something that can get banged around. I need something that I'm going to have to push or pull or something this thing through an airport. Even when my trunks are full and they're 70 pounds, my toddler can push it without any effort whatsoever. So he can now help out these types of things. So all of that takes into consideration and consider that an investment as well on what you should do because you could go to TJ Maxx and buy you a cheap suitcase, and then you're the one that's like, this thing can't roll on concrete, this thing can't roll on bricks, or it comes off the baggage claim and it's missing, the handle's ripped, those types of things. And then you got to go buy another one. So, yes, I do invest in nice luggage for all of those particular reasons. And yes, it's 100% worth it. It's great. Find a suitcase that you like and just stick with it. And then, like I said, it might cost a little bit more, but you're only going to pay for it once for a much longer period of time. Now, other travel supplements. Now, this is where will get a little bit bushy. My toiletry bag. This is something you throw a lot of stuff in, like your toothbrush, brushes, medications, nail clippers, all sorts of stuff. I'm just naming off random stuff from the bathroom right now. Get a good one. If you're gonna
Yep.
get a one made out of plastic, now it's gonna get dirty. You gotta wash it. It could get ripped. You then gotta replace it. In that case, my wife kills me about this. She's still asks me like, why do you still have this one toiletry bag? I've literally had the same toiletry bag for almost 20 years. It is Toomey, and the thing is, this it looks like the day I bought it. I
Yeah.
don't know why the outside can't get dirty. The same reason why I have Toomey backpacks. I actually have two of them. I use one for personal travel, one for business travel. Because my business travel, I have to put more stuff in that bag, so I bought a larger one. Bought it on sale. Don't get it twisted. And yes, I stacked the points when I got it. But you only have to buy them once. Literally, you only have to buy them once. If you're a member of my channel, I actually have one of my very early member only videos where I was going over like the stuff I put in my backpack. Go look at that video. It's a gray and orange Toomey backpack. That one I actually bought from a Toomey outlet on sale. And that was well over 10 years ago. And it looks like I bought it yesterday, still to this day. And so I'd rather spend $200, $300 on something that I know I can keep for that much time. And same thing with my toiletry bag. It has gone through the works. I can't tell you how many sharp things that have been in there, how much stuff I have packed in there, how much time I put stress on that zipper, how much stuff has actually spilled in there. I can throw it in the wash and it comes out like it just came off the showroom floor every single time. And that's why I keep it. So, do I invest in that stuff? The nice stuff? Yes, because I'm looking for time and quality versus I just want something that can hold whatever. And if it gets tattered, rattered, ripped, or whatever, then I can get rid of it. I don't want to get rid of it. I want to buy it once and not have to think about it again. I.e., if my toiletry bag were to not, I couldn't use it tomorrow, I'd be hurt because I've had it for so long. It's been such a valuable purchase, if that makes sense. So, yes, 100% invest in what works for you, but also think of the time and the longevity factor of it.
Oh yeah. And to that end, like I'll tell you right now, my everyday backpack, which is my personal item when I travel, that I'm taking on the airplane, my laptops, my everything go in this bag, is a Victorinox backpack that was given to me as a gift when I was 21. I still use that backpack every day. This was
Mhm.
like a $300 backpack when it was given to me. That is my personal item on the plane. Like it has been through thick and thin for the last what, 16, 17 years. Like Victorinox, great brand for that. What is my everyday carry bag when I travel up to be with my family when I have to sojourn over the weekends? It's another Victorinox weekend bag. That is my bag for short flights. That is my bag for I'm going to be somewhere less than a week. If I don't have to worry about a checked bag and I can fit everything in that as a carry-on, that's my carry-on. I've even checked that bag just because I didn't want to deal with another bag. I didn't want to put a bag in overhead, so I just checked it because I get free checked bags. Those are worth their weight in gold. Like I myself didn't make the purchase for them. They were given to me as presents, but they have lasted for years. They're going to continue to last for years. I looked at other backpacks. Like I've wanted to buy the LTT backpack when Linus Tech Tip launched that. I wanted to buy that backpack. I couldn't convince myself to buy another $300 backpack. Why? Because my $300 backpack is still going strong. I wanted to buy, I'm pulling up the Ridge backpacks. They look pretty nice. Toomey backpacks look really nice. They're going to last for a while. What's also going to last for a while? My $300 backpack from 16 years ago.
Just click on the sale button when you go to the Toomey website or
I'm
the
I'm
outlet
I'm
mall.
going straight to the outlet, just straight to the outlet. There's
I
an
don't
outlet
care
right
what
across.
color it is. I care what it costs.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. So like, my two Victorinox bags are great. Will I invest in nicer luggage for those longer trips? Because the luggage has to last. Like if you buy cheap luggage and it breaks,
Yep.
is it really on the airline for breaking it or on you for buying bad luggage?
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a chicken or the egg right there. I like that one.
It's like, yes, you bought a polycarbonate piece of luggage. Yes, you loaded it to the brim. Yes, it got thrown around by the guy who's not paid enough to throw, who will just end up throwing it around into the bottom of the plane. And let's say it explodes all over the bottom of the plane. Now, yes, theoretically, it would be on him, but you bought a $60 polycarbonate bag when you could have bought a Ridge bag that would
Yeah.
last a lot longer, or a
You went
Toomey
to
bag that,
Ross. You went to Ross and bought your suitcase.
yeah,
And you got Ross experience.
Ross, TJX, Marshalls, whatever. If you're buying cut rate, I can't
Yeah.
help you.
And
Like,
you don't really know what a good bag is until you've had a bad one. So you almost have to go to the TJ Maxx or the
mhm.
Marshall or the Ross or the Burlington Coat Factory and try it out. The saying of everyone has a plan until you get punched in the face. Everyone is, I got a really good bag until it rips or a wheel gets broken or fall. It comes off the baggage claim and there's only 3 wheels on it instead of 4. Now, there's also it comes off the baggage claim at your vacation destination with 3 wheels on it instead of 4, versus by the time you got home or destination,
Yeah.
which is a completely different experience. And if you ever went through one of those, you're like, oh, this is some hot garbage. This is some hot BS. The point that I'm trying to make is because you didn't do what was best for you. Now you actually are now like looking for a local target. Because if you're buying a suitcase at the airport, which I never understood why they did that until I've seen people have to do it and why they have to do it. Why there's a Toomey in the airport. Those never go on sale. That carry on does cost that broken wheel, that $60 bag with the broken wheel costs you $600. It ended up costing you $600. You know what I mean?
Hopefully you bought it duty free.
It's worth it to just buy the quality because that thing is going to get tossed. It's going to get bumped. It's going to get manhandled by people that do not care
Yep.
about your bag.
Nope.
They don't. It's going to go in a cargo area that's going to get 80 other bags thrown on top of it. It's
Yep.
going to get thrown on the rental car shuttle right across the dirty floor on the bottom rack. It's going to get thrown into the trunk or the cargo area of the rental car that you have, or in the back of that Uber that you just rented. Just get the one that's going to be able to check off the boxes for you. It's 100% worth it. And when you find the right one, I've gone through a lot of brands. I'm not going to lie. And I've had bags broken. I've had the bars get bent, which I don't understand if they're and pushed down inside of the luggage. Like, why is it bent at the top? Who took it out and then bent it and then forced it back in there? Those types of things. Somebody that doesn't care about my bag.
The guy who threw
Apparently.
it in the bottom of the plane.
I've had bags get ripped by TSA. Like, instead of opening up the bag, we're going to take a razor blade through it and see what this is. Like, I've gone through all of that, and it took all of that for me to realize to find like level 8.
Yep.
Where I've settled. It took all of that. And the only reason why I got Ridge is because, like I said, I have trunks, but trunks are really big depending on what type of vacation we're going on. Sometimes you need a regular, more check-in size suitcase. And so Ridge has those. And that's why we have those. So we have every type of suitcase for everything that we potentially need. But Ridge, those things are effing tanks. I'm not sponsored by Ridge either. I'm not. This is just where I've spent money. They are tanks. Actually, I think I even recommended it to Key. Key saw me with one, and I was like in New Orleans or whatever. And I think for the entire trip, I was just telling her, like, yo, you wanted to kick it? Kick my Ridge suitcase. I dare you. Like, I don't care. They are absolute tanks. So those types of things, it's worth it. Just pay the money. You only got to buy it once. You will get tired of it before it breaks. That's the suitcase you want. That's the luggage that you want. I can go on the importance of this for a very long time.
Yep. And as with all things, like, we always reevaluate our credit cards. Check in on your luggage company too.
It's a lifetime warranty as well.
Yeah. As long as they've got that lifetime warranty, great. As long as they have that "we're awesome" policy, great. If anything changes with your luggage company, be sure to be aware of that over time. If they stop doing lifetime language, just stay on top of it and get out of Dodge and go find another reputable luggage company. But yeah, invest in quality, invest in a company that's going to be there for you in the long term. Like,
Toomey has lifetime as well, as long as you register it. So make sure you register it and that little tag inside for y'all. Hold on, I got one. Hold
on. Now, let me just say, I am not aware of Victorinox's, but
all right. So this is not my backpack. This is a Toomey sling bag that I got, also on sale and Amex offer where I got 10,000 points for buying it. Make sure you register it, put all your information. I'm going to cover up my barcode on the little thing here. Every Toomey bag code has one. Yep, it's a QR code and a barcode.
Ooh.
Now, part of it needs a good Samaritan, not going to lie, because if you lose it, they have to take it to any Toomey store. They take it to a Toomey store. It's like your dog being microchipped. They know exactly who owns the bag, and they send it to you. You do need a good Samaritan to take it to the store.
And the good Samaritan to know to take it to the store.
But it's one of those things that they can help find you. And like I said, once you register it, it's locked in forever. Yeah. Forever. Something ever happens to this, Toomey's going to take care of it. And so that's why I like them. On Black Friday, I like them. At the outlet mall. I'm bougie, but I ain't that bougie. I ain't Toomey full price bougie. I ain't there. I don't care how much money I got. I ain't there. I ain't doing that. That's ridiculous.
So when they go on sale through the shops at Chase, maybe you'll buy them through Chase. Maybe.
Yeah, they're doing an inflated. I don't know if it's targeted offer, but Chase sent me an inflated offer and $100 for shops to Chase. And so I've been looking at Toomey. I've been looking at Oakley, seeing what price is the best if I want to use this money or not. It's cheaper to not buy anything, people.
Yeah,
it's cheaper to not buy anything. I got this one on an Amex offer where it was like, oh, go shop at Toomey, spend
some amount of money,
and get a crazy amount of points. And I'm like, all right, that could be good if I find the right thing. And that's how I ended up with that little sling bag.
Yep. And we're not saying buy the most expensive thing. Expensive does not mean quality, but be willing to pay for quality.
Mm. Toomey makes this roller duffel. Tangent.
Yep. We got time.
We're going off on it's only Matt and I tonight. We did it. I had to do it. But on my Toomey wish list, there's this roller duffel. Costs $1,000. I don't have it. So don't come at me in the comments, not being a hypocrite. I don't have it because I don't want to spend $1,000 on it. 600, maybe it's still a little too high. for something I don't necessarily need. But anyway, it's like my wish list luggage by Toomey because it has this huge 60-liter compartment on the top, and then it zips across the bottom where it has the entire bottom of the duffel, which is a separated compartment. I can like easily stack like 4 or 5 pairs of shoes into. So I can have like my clothes and then my shoes. The only problem is it's a duffel, so the wheels don't rotate. It's a dragger, so you got to drag it behind you. That's the only negative aspect. But I absolutely love it, and I want it. And every time like we're at a luggage store or buy one, and I have free time, I go look at it. But not paying $1,000.
No,
I'm not there yet, folks. I didn't win the Powerball last week, so I'm not there yet.
Tell you what, I win that Powerball at some point. Anyway, we're not going to go down that rabbit hole. But Kirby and Diamond, thank you so much for your questions there. Keith, thank you for your question. Everybody who chipped in with questions this week, thank you so much.
I didn't answer Diamond's side. Polycarbonate.
Luggage?
Go with the hard shell. Because if someone, and this has happened, if something spills on your luggage, it's instantly a bad day when you get it. Your clothes are messed up. They smell like cologne or shampoo or perfume or alcohol because you're allowed to put wine in your suitcase for some dumb reason. Why would you put glass in your suitcase? Anyway.
And not insulate it? No.
Tangent for another day. But when you get a polycarbonate, especially a waterproof one, like the Ridge luggage, once again, not sponsored. I did my research before I gave my money to a company. You don't have nothing to worry about. So it gets a little something spilled on it. When I get to the hotel or get home, throw it in the shower, rinse it off.
Yep.
Polycarbonate over soft shell. I'll take that any day. And most Toomeys are soft shell. They're washable. It's really hard to rip them, like the ballistic nylon. But still, it's soft, so stuff can leak through it. But do you? I would say I would lean on polycarbonate or hard shell or aluminum, something like that.
Yeah. I would also go with polycarbonate when I'm buying longer term luggage. Right now, my duffel bag, my backpack, if I'm staying less than a week, those do me just fine. But do want to make sure that you don't have those issues with liquids. So thanks everyone for your questions. We're going to just briefly shout out our Diamond members who are Rex Bleen, Rupert Pond, Level Animal Fries, AP, Keith, and Mitch528. Didn't notice any new members at the silver or gold level, but you can join our memberships here on YouTube at any time. We'll give you a shout out to new members on the silver and gold when there are new members. We'll consistently shout out our Diamond members if you want to join at the Diamond tier level. That'd be fantastic. We're doing membership only videos. Lonnie's got his Q&A video that's going to be members only on the Stack Your Points side. So definitely check that out.
Drop me your questions. We're putting it in the pin or in the description wherever we're recording right now. I don't know where we're going to put it when we upload, but it's going to be down there.
I'll figure it out. Members get access to the full show. Like we cut the show up into 2 major pieces. If you're a member, you get the full show as soon as we're done editing it. So if that's going to help you, great. And we might eventually do a members only live. Who knows? But again, join us at the Stack Your Points YouTube page to become a member. If you want to check us out elsewhere, stackyourpoints.com. You can find Lonnie's channel through stackyourpoints.com. You can find my channel through stackyourpoints.com. You can find our Discord through stackyourpoints.com. And if you have any questions, there is the podcast questions section of the Discord. Is a contact form on stackyourpoints.com. And you can use the comments of any of our videos as well. Lonnie, any final thoughts?
All y'all are awesome. Thanks for rocking with us.
Absolutely. We are on the push to 600 subscribers here on Stack Your Points. We would love to get to 1,000. If there are friends of yours in the credit card community or like friends of yours who are getting interested in credit cards, share us. See, I like to think that we do a little bit of everything for everyone. We do take things a little bit more on the philosophical side of things. So if that's your jam or a friend's jam, we'd appreciate the share. But thanks so much for your time. We will talk to you next week. Bye for now.